I drove in pain, anxious about what will come in the upcoming future and if everything will turn out alright despite my fears and nerves. Not sure if something bad had happened, I knew I wasn't going to get any answers until I reached my destination. We've all gone through different chapters in our lives, and no matter how much we prepare for them, sometimes they will come at us as a shock and surprise. They begin and end whether we're ready for them or not. This story is the beginning of my most recent and most biggest chapter of my life so far. Only a woman can understand the challenges and discomforts I faced during my 8th month journey of pregnancy. Back in October, my husband and I decided to let whatever happen. If we get pregnant, it was meant to be. Starting October, I began my 8th month journey, or the pre-show, as I like to call it, of my next chapter of my life. And before we know it, I was pregnant, and we kept asking ourselves, are we really ready for this? Are we going to be all right parents? Are we going to be responsible enough to raise a child? Before we knew it, my stomach grew, and we had to face the truth. We were going to become parents, whether we liked it or not, or whether we were ready or not. Thankfully, without any complications or major difficulties, I never really had any bad signs or symptoms. My pregnancy went smoothly. However, I cannot say the same for the day of my birth. That was a different story. There are times when we realize that we truly do not have control over every little thing in our lives. This moment for me was one of those times. At 36 weeks, in the middle of the night, my baby girl said she was ready to come. However, did not ask if I was ready. Nothing like the movies. I felt a pop. However, I did not feel any gush of water come out. But I knew something was off. And so I told my husband, I'm going to the hospital. I might be, my water might have broke, but I'm just going to get checked out just to see if everything was all right. During that time, my dog also peed on the carpet. And since I'm a person who likes to have a clean house, I did not want to come home from my pregnancy and birth to pee on my carpet. So I cleaned it up before I left, and then I left, despite feeling what I thought was contractions that were getting more stronger and frequent. 20 minutes away from the hospital meant 20 minutes for the contractions to continue to increase and become more frequent. And then 20 minutes for me to drive myself to the hospital wondering if at 36 weeks my baby was going to be all right. Sometimes everything will happen in a blink of an eye because of built-up nerves or from fatigue. Other times they just happen in the blinking of an eye because sometimes things just happen fast in real life, in real time. This moment for me was a combination of all of the above. I was admitted, they examined me, they sent me upstairs to the delivery room, they gave me an epidural, and they told me to start pushing because my baby was about to come out. Her head was showing, all within a few hours. What felt like hours of me pushing my baby, it took only about 20 minutes, the same amount of time for me it took to get to the hospital. I was relieved and grateful, but knowing my baby was healthy, that was all that mattered to me. Whether we were ready or not, the next chapter of our lives began. So prepare as much as you can and learn to expect the unexpected. If I've learned anything from my short time being alive, it's that you never know what's gonna come next in your life, and just try to enjoy whatever comes. Thank you.